You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Monster Monday. We are presented by DraftKings. Love those dudes. Love all of you that help make this thing go. Love Mondays because I just give you the 2 or 3 things you need to take away from each game that happened on Sunday in the National Football League. It is a new week, which means we'll have new winners at the end of the week. Spread the word winner. I'm looking for something creative. How do you spread the word about our shows? Ross Tucker Football Podcast, College Draft, Even Money, Fantasy Feast, Business of Sports. How do you go ahead and spread the word creatively? That's what I want to know. Sponsor confirmation email winner. That's really easy. You hear me talk about sponsors on the show, or anytime we post the show link on any social media, or just go to rosstucker.com. Take advantage of any of those, or go to myfrontpagestory.com and get the best holiday gift you could ever get a loved one. Send it to me, ross@rosstucker.com. I cannot wait to send you guys some of these signed press passes. Really a cool thing to be able to show people and to be able to have. And then the YouTube shout out, very, very cool. YouTube.com/RossTuckerNFL. I love when I get the random comments that really, I can tell they just want the shout out. That's fine. That counts. Speaking of counting, Justin Glazier. He's our latest patron. Patreon.com/RTmedia. Be a part of the Tuckheads family, our private Slack channel. Patreon.com/RTmedia. Having a big week so far on the Even Money podcast. We'll see what happens tonight. As a reminder, I will be in the booth tonight on Westwood One National Radio with Kevin Harlan. Really looking forward to that. Kevin is the man. It's Big Show time.
The Big Show.
All right, Ross, before we get into each of the individual games, what were your overall themes from Week 10 across the NFL?
So honestly, Jack, there's a lot. I mean, first of all, and I think I say this every year, and this is not pandering to the international listeners that we have, but I love the international series. I love it. So it's like this, Jack. It's like if you love something as much as I love football, it warms your heart to see more people finding out about it or more people enjoying what you love and experiencing what you love. It's like if your mom or you have certain food from your hometown and then you take it and your college buddies have it. And I'm like, it's good, right? It's good. Like, it's so good. And you're like, I told you, it's so good. Like, there's something about that, having other people experience the joy that you have. And that is the international series for me. So I love that part of it, right? I also love the fans. I love the early kick. I love that it's 9:30 in the morning and my guy, Jason McCourty, is dominating, talking about the Patriots and the Colts. Speaking of that, I mean, we'll get into it with their game, but things are really ugly for the Patriots. I mean, it's really bad. 2-8, they're going to make a change. The question now is what change, how significant. It's wild. It's wild that this is where we are now with the New England Patriots. Another theme is just Josh Dobbs. I mean, he's just so fun. He's so fun to watch. I'm so happy for him. By the way, he's making money. Now, I don't know if anybody will ever... You know what he's becoming? He's like becoming the new Fitzpatrick. He's the new Fitzmagic in the sense that, like, he's probably not what you're looking for as a long-term starter, but he's a high-end QB2, low-end QB1 that has proven he can get the job done for you. Another win for him this year, this time with the Vikings at home. Watching some of these games like Patriots, Colts, or Jets and the Raiders last night, Jack, it really felt like the Chargers and the Lions were playing a different sport. I saw you tweeted about that on your social. By the way, nice job with some of those video clips at Ross Tucker Pod. How about the people that thought I was serious about banning the Browns offensive linemen from pushing forward on when they were near the first down. Do these people not know me? Do they not listen to the show? Do they not follow me on social media? I mean, what is happening that people think I'm serious even a little bit? I love that play. I don't want to ban that stuff. Gosh, it was a joke about the Eagles' brotherly shove. Really happy for Kyler Murray and to see him back out there after a year. That's tough, man. I mean, you have a season-ending injury. You have to rehab for almost a year. That's a long time. I was happy to see him come out and play super-duper well like he did. Bad home losses for the Bengals and the Ravens. I mean, you're trying to win that division. You're trying to establish seeding if you do win the division. Can't lose at home in the manner in which they did. Bengals to the Texans, Ravens to the Browns, where they're up 14 points in the fourth quarter. The Ravens, the last few years, have lost a bunch of games that they should not have lost. Bad. 5 game-winning field goals to win games is another theme. And then the last one, ticky-tack penalties. Jack, I can't take it. This is professional football. Can we let him play? Can we please let him play? Like, when in doubt, okay, when in doubt, don't throw the flag. That's my first thing as the commissioner. When in doubt, do not throw the flag for when I eventually become the commissioner. The other thing is, you need to be on ExpressVPN. Why? Because, again, I was in hotels this weekend. So, again, I used my ExpressVPN, not only to make sure that I was protected, but for my daughters to watch different Netflix shows. It was amazing. So we're in this hotel. They didn't have great TV up at West Point. So I can switch to so many things. My wife watches The Office on UK Netflix. She's a huge Office fan, which is funny because that's Eastern PA as well. I have no idea what my daughters were watching. I'm not going to pretend to know. I know it was child-friendly. But here's the deal. ExpressVPN allows you to watch an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. That's expressvpn.com/Tucker. expressvpn.com/Tucker to learn more.
All right, we'll start with even a Gore-Tex coat couldn't even save the Patriots, who lose to the Colts 10-6 in Germany.
Both teams actually had solid opening drives, but that was about it. The Patriots' offensive line, real good run blocking, especially the right side of that offensive line. City Sao and Onwenu, they were knocking them back, but they were struggling in pass pro. And I thought Bill O'Brien threw the ball too much. They should have been like Michigan against Penn State. They should have run the ball every single play. Certainly didn't help that their rookie kicker, who's also, by the way, from Eastern PA, that he missed a chip shot field goal. That changed the whole complexion of the game. Patriots probably win that game if Ryland doesn't miss that chip shot. But this is the Patriots. This is who they are. Mac Jones benched late after back-to-back horrific throws in the red zone. Horrific. I thought the Patriots defense actually played pretty well. They ran it solidly with Ramondre Stevenson and Zeke Elliott. That was a game that the Patriots have to win. And what's more, Jack, that's a game that the Patriots always used to win, but not anymore. Mac Jones had 2 of the worst throws. It looked like he was targeting Julian Blackmon for the Colts. It looked like that's who he was trying to throw the ball to. And then Bailey, so they bench him after the second one, which was just horrific. Bailey Zappi comes in, does a fake spike, and throws the ball into triple coverage. Yikes. Changes are coming.
No appreciation for my Seinfeld reference there?
What'd you say? Oh, the Gore-Tex?
The Gore-Tex coat, because Robert Kraft had the big one on, looked like George Costanza's.
So I saw that like 30 times on social media yesterday. So a lot of our listeners are not on social media. So I should have been like, ha, 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 yeah, Jack, like Seinfeld. But I can't fake it. Like, I can't fake stuff. So, like, I heard your reference, but I saw it so many times, Andrew Brandt, everybody on Twitter, that I just couldn't do it, dude.
Move forward to a line I'm probably going to say about like 5 times today. Cleveland storms back and kicks a field goal to win at the buzzer, 33-31.
Wow. I mean, the Ravens have 3 terrible losses this year. Terrible. I mean, Kyle Hamilton has a pick 6 on like the first play. And then Keaton Mitchell takes around that guy. That's why you listen or watch youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL to the College Draft Podcast, by the way. Not this past summer when he was going to be a rookie. The summer before, when Keaton Mitchell was still at East Carolina, Emory was all over him and how good he was. You know why? Because Emory watches ball and Emory knows ball. And we will be talking about this on today's College Draft Podcast. Keaton Mitchell has some serious juice. I mean, even late in the game, Prochet muffs a punt for the Browns, and you're thinking, just when you thought the Browns had a chance, and the Ravens score again, 31-17. I give the Browns a lot of credit, man. They just kept playing. I mean, they just kept battling. Deshaun Watson, I thought, was excellent in the second half. Used his legs well at times. Threw the ball at times like he needed to. But the play of the game was the Greg Newsome pick 6. I mean, unbelievable. Cannot believe Hopkins missed the extra point after that. So they were still down 1 point. But Greg Newsome, the pick 6 off of, I think it went off somebody's helmet, bounced in the air. That was the difference in the game.
Quarterback battle for the ages. C.J. Stroud gets Houston downfield in the closing seconds to beat Cincy 30-27.
Well, Stroud was incredible because he is incredible. And again, a game-winning drive, this time after a terrible interception, Jack. That might be almost more impressive to me about C.J. Stroud. He has that horrific interception and then bounces back to take him down the field again. Tons of explosive plays for the Texans in this game against a Bengals defense that doesn't typically do that. I mean, Noah Brown had a huge game. I mean, who is Noah Brown to be having these big games? Devin Singletary, they actually ran the ball well. The Texans are for real, man. Like, the Texans have a legit chance to make the playoffs. You know, Burrow had some beautiful throws. Really, every touchdown throw Burrow had. The one to Irwin on the first drive, the deep one to Chase, Boyd. And honestly, the biggest difference in this game was probably Tyler Boyd dropping a touchdown pass from Burrow. It was a little bit over his head, but he's got to catch that pass. That's a really bad loss for Cincy.
The reports of the 49ers' death are extremely exaggerated following their 34-3 beatdown to Jacksonville.
Well, before we get into that, the clock's going to stop on this podcast in about 12 minutes. That's when it's time to order them with DoorDash. Just kind of like when you're watching the game. Pizza cravings hit at halftime, ordering time. Dreaming about tacos during a timeout, boom, they're on your doorstep. Wait, you want burgers, chips, dips, drinks, and wings instead? Even better. Order on DoorDash and get everything you want delivered without missing a minute of the game. Speaking of that, while you're eating, drink some Labatt Blue Lights. I mean, I'm hoping to meet up with the Labatt Blue Light guys tonight in Buffalo, where I'm on the call with Kevin Harlan. I think I said it already. I can't remember. Anyway, drink Labatt Blue Light. It's delicious. My favorite light beer by far. Always enjoy responsibly beer. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. You're right, Jack. I mean, I thought Purdy looked really good again, including some gutsy touchdown throws in the end zone. The Niners' defense, their pass rush is back. Chase Young certainly helped. The Jags turn it over a bunch, especially Trevor Lawrence. Interceptions, fumbles, just a really bad game for Lawrence, really bad game for the Jags. I should have known that was coming. The Niners aren't going to lose 4 games in a row and the Jags win, 6 in a row. It's just, that was never going to happen. It's not the way the NFL works. I'm an idiot. Speaking of idiotic, I thought it was real stupid for Kyle Shanahan to give the ball to McCaffrey 4 times late in the game to try to score a touchdown. I mean, I know that they liked the record and wanted to break it. Can you even imagine if he got hurt? It's 34-3. Can you imagine if he got hurt pulling that stunt?
The Pastronaut sends Minnesota into orbit with their 5th straight win, beating the Saints 27-18.
I like that. Jack. Probably your best line of the day so far. Michael Thomas for the Saints, should be mentioned, was arrested before the game a couple days ago on battery charges. Did play in the game, but then got hurt. We already talked about it. Josh Dobbs is incredibly fun to watch and very effective with his legs, throwing the ball. I think I saw a quote from him where he said it helps if you actually get a chance to throw the ball to your teammates a little bit during a week of practice. Carr got hurt, so Jameis came in. Jameis is never not entertaining. I mean, some crazy throws. By the way, great catches by Chris Olave, by A.T. Perry. Kind of got the Saints back in the game when it looked like they were getting run off the field.
Pittsburgh holds on home to beat Green Bay 23-19.
This Steelers game reminds me of every Steelers game ever. Now, they're starting to lose too many linebackers, right? They already lost Cole Holcomb. Now Quan Alexander, torn Achilles. I thought Jordan Love actually did some good things earlier in the game. His touchdown passes were beautiful. I thought he did some really he looks like a starting quarterback at times. But then he threw those picks late. The Steelers' offense got off to a much better start, which was encouraging. Jaylen Warren had a big day. I'm a huge fan of his. I saw where my buddy Kyle Brandt said, I don't see anybody running harder than him. I think that's correct. And then obviously Patrick Peterson, that tip play when he was in the nickel, defender tipped the ball back into the end zone for interception. That was a high level play by Patrick Peterson.
Baker and the Bucs have life in the NFC South following their 20-6 win against the Titans.
They do. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I kind of thought there was a decent chance the Titans would win that game. But the Titans' offense, boy, that was brutal. Coming off extra time to prepare and rest after the Thursday night game, Levis did not play well. They didn't get the passing. Derrick Henry did nothing. Really, really bad game by the Titans. And on offense for the Bucs, they didn't light it up. It was just kind of Mike Evans doing what Mike Evans did. He's going to get another huge contract, and deservedly so.
Kyler is back in business, leading Arizona to a 25-23 walk-off win.
And I thought he looked good. I mean, it wasn't perfect. There was some rust there, as we knew there would be. But he certainly looked good running. The running touchdown when he pulled the ball late in the game, it was like 3rd or 4th and forever. Nobody's feet move as fast as his feet. Nobody. I don't know how much ground he's gaining, but his feet are like, no. It's like Fred Flintstone. It's like, do you even know who Fred Flintstone is, Jack?
Yeah, I'm aware of who the Flintstones are. I was a child at one point who watched cartoons.
But I didn't know if when you were a child, Fred Flintstones was still a thing.
Yeah. Oh, every single old cartoon still
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. A dabba-doo time. We'll have a what old time?
I just thought it was it's like a yabba-doo old day or something like that.
I don't know. Man, I have not even thought about the Flintstones or seen them in so long. The fact that phrase is in my head, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, Barney Rubble. Oh, such a great show. Anyway, that's how Kyler Murray's feet look at times. I thought both Falcons quarterbacks were just kind of okay. Heineke went out with a hamstring injury. Ritter did take the zone read. It was a good call by Archuleta on CBS. Ritter took the zone read for a touchdown. Big day, by the way, for Trey McBride, who's emerging as kind of a star tight end in the NFL. I'm not surprised. Did some of his games at Colorado State. He's fantastic.
Detroit comes on top with their shootout, the Chargers, winning 41-38.
And I'm going to make this, Jack, I'm going to make the Lions my fourth quarter team of the week. The fourth quarter pick is brought to you by HubSpot Sales Hub, the software helping sales teams win the fourth quarter in business. I love the Lions. First of all, I love their play caller, Ben Johnson. So creative. Guys getting open. But then my former teammate, Dan Campbell, he's got some big ones, man. Going forward on 4th down to essentially seal the game. showing the faith and confidence in Goff, who gets it done. They end up kicking the chip shot field goal to win. These are not the same old Lions. Not at all. They're my fourth quarter team of the week. They earned it. Goff, Campbell, the kicker, whatever his name is, congrats to the Lions. Other things in that game, Jack, I would say, were just Herbert was awesome. I mean, Herbert was awesome. That's a tough loss because Herbert was amazing. Amon-Ra, St. Brown had a huge game. The Chargers' defense has to be better. I mean, they're giving up so many yards. Both Lions running backs had big days. But the play calling, fourth down for both teams. I mean, Kellen Moore and Ben Johnson, tip of the cap to both of them.
Something. Dallas wins against New York 49-17.
Did you see how upset people were getting about my nobody beats bad teams like the Cowboys? Nobody. I mean, Cowboys fans were getting so upset. Take it as a compliment. Why do you have to take it as, why do you have to get upset about it? I mean, Brandon Cooks had his biggest game as a Cowboy. CeeDee Lamb, again. The Cowboys jumped all over the Giants. DeVito was under duress, missing throws. Biggest yardage disparity in an NFL game in, like, years. Dayball's having these sideline conversations with Saquon and Wink Martindale. It's so bad. I don't think they will, but it's so bad that you almost wonder if the Giants feel like they need to make a change after this game. After the season, they're going to make some change.
Seattle ends the flurry of walk-off field goals from yesterday with their own to defeat the Commanders 29-26.
Gino got it done late, including that throw to DK Metcalf for the game-winning field goal. And I got to tell you, man, Sam Howell is good. Don't you think, Jack? He's good. He is a good quarterback. Like, there's no way you'd ever convince me that Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Sam Howell. Never, ever, ever, ever. If you've watched either one of those guys play, there's just no way. Stronger arm, throws a better ball. I mean, there's just no way. Sam Howell's good. Although, how many times is Sam Howell going to drive his team down the field for the go-ahead score or the game-tying score, and then the Commanders still lose? What would be their record? I mean, Ron Rivera, go for two, buddy. What would be their record if they won some of those games? It feels like they always lose those games. Good sign, by the way, for the Commanders. I'm sorry, for the Seahawks, that Leonard Williams had a big game. They made a big trade for him to try to get them over the hump, and I thought he played really well.
And the most expected statement a month ago is the Raiders are back at 500 and firmly in the playoff race following their 16-12 victory against the New York Jets.
Well, from a score standpoint, I mean, I think everybody knew that this is how this game was going to go, right? I mean, I saw where before the game, Robert Saleh said it's a race for 20 to Melissa Stark or somebody, or to Tony Dungy. Hey, nobody's getting 20 in that game. I mean, they were lucky to get 16-12. Robert Spillane was the hero, really, for the Raiders. Robert Spillane and Michael Mayer. Spillane had 1 million tackles, had a sack, but he had the game-clinching, essentially, interception late. You know, Jack, Zach Wilson was solid. He threw for over 250 yards, had some really nice throws. He ran for over 50 yards and ran at the right times, ran effectively. But you know what? He's got like Cowboys-itis or whatever. Like, he doesn't, like, it's like the Bills. He doesn't make the critical plays when he needs to. Should have been a running touchdown. He steps out of bounds. They have to settle for a field goal. Late in the game, they're moving the ball. Critical interception to Spillane. I mean, that's just kind of who Zach Wilson is. He is showing us who he is. The Jets can't score touchdowns. It's remarkable that they beat the Eagles. It really is. Too many penalties. And I'm actually surprised the Jets let Josh Jacobs have a big night on the ground. I mentioned Michael Mayer with the nice catch for the only touchdown, as O'Connell was kind of hit or miss, I'd say, for the Raiders in this game. That'll do it for a Monster Monday. Make sure you check out the college draft. Love when you guys tweet me that you're listening tonight with Kevin Harlan. on Monday Night Football, Bills, Broncos, power rankings, and even money tomorrow. I think we're done here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout out to myfrontpagestory.com. I cannot emphasize enough, this is the gift you should get the loved one in your life that you don't know what to get them. Mom, dad, both of them, wife, girlfriend, whoever. It is a custom-made, professionally written story all about them and how amazing they are. myfrontpagestory.com. Other shout-outs, Pizza Boy Brewing, Sporticulture, HumanHeadNYC.com, SteakhouseSports.com, Go-Bengals.com, and BackOfficeScheduler.com.